Black Adam. So we just got done talking about Zachary Levi. And if y'all recall, Zachary Levi being messy blamed The Rock for the one being part of the failure of not allowing certain cameos to happen for Shazam and so on and so forth. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, there was a lot of mess going on at WB. Actually, there's been a lot of mess going on at WB for over a decade. When I tell you, I mean, you can go back to the Zack Snyder stuff with studio interference, to WB dropping movies same day, same date, in the theaters and on streaming and pissing off, a lot of film directors and actors and stuff. There have been terrible like the last 6-7 movies in DC have been atrocious. And when I say atrocious, I'm talking about the performances and the box office have been lackluster from a business perspective. Again, I'm not talking about your personal opinion. It's okay if you like those movies. But from a business model, DC has been failing objectively in the box office. There is no debate with that. When y'all comic book movies can't even crack $400 million, meanwhile, you got Ant-Man and the Wasp, part 3, a terrible Marvel movie. You got that making more money than all your other movies? Sit down. That's a problem. That's a problem. So DC has been a mess. And because DC has been a mess, unfortunately, The Rock kind of sort of came in. And I've told y'all this too. During the Wild Wild West, you had a changing of the guard. You had a new boss coming in. You had David Zaslav coming in. There was no James Gunn, Peter Safran yet. You had Walter Hamada kind of in the door, out the door. Like, it was a lot of people doing stuff. The Rock had gone behind the backs of certain executives at the time who were probably on their way out anyway to get Henry Cavill to come back in Black Adam. It was a whole lot of stuff going on. My man The Rock thought that he was going to start up a whole new franchise. He was going to change the hierarchy of power. All this stuff was going to happen because The Rock was like, I'm going to come in and save DC. That didn't happen. Black Adam failed. Black Adam couldn't crack 400 million. It was number 1 on iTunes, though. It was number 1 on iTunes. I don't know if that means anything, but Black Adam barely turned a profit, if at all. Probably even lost money. It wasn't as big of a problem as The Flash was, but given the expectations, given the potential that people had, you have The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, literally the number 1 movie star in the business, and you have the number 1 money-making genre in comic book movies coming together and falling flat on their face. That a colossal fail. So there have been a lot of reasons why this movie failed. I've told y'all my reasons why I think they failed. And even The Rock has come out and said, you know what? A lot of times my ego got ahead of me. Da-da-da-da-da. You're right. You're right. Because he tried to do too much too fast. One of the biggest problems with The Rock in terms of trying to do Black Adam was he wanted to listen to the fans. And I've told y'all, listening to the fans should be one of the last things you do. Not saying ignore it. Don't ignore the fans. But that should not be the first thing you do. And he wanted to lead with that. He thought, because the fans keep asking for Henry Cavill, Snyder fans mainly, because they keep asking for him, if I bring them, they will come. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Or I'm sorry, not enough hardcore Snyder fans came to see Black Adam to justify that the franchise continue. Y'all didn't come to the theaters. Y'all hashtag y'all butts off, But y'all didn't come to the actual theater and pay money to show the CEOs that this is something we want to keep seeing. So Black Adam was a failure. Now, with that said, this is one of the reasons why we have James Gunn coming in. They're doing a big reboot and all of that, which it needed. After 10 years of not doing as well as you should, you need a reboot. But The Rock just came out with this right now. And he has, I guess, it admitted a little bit of the failures, but he's still a little curious about them too. A little bit. Says Dwayne Johnson says dropping Black Adam will always be one of the biggest mysteries. It got caught in a vortex of new leadership. Okay. So here he says in the interview, Black Adam got caught in a vortex of new leadership. Johnson said when Hart asked how it felt for a franchise to be stopped. It was so many changes in leadership. Anytime you have a company, a publicly traded company, and you have all those changes in leadership, you have people coming in who creatively and fiscally are going to make decisions that you might not agree with. And like I said, this is true. This is true. Like, there were people that the old administration, The Rock, they didn't agree with The Rock. But then when David Zaslav came in, he was like, sure, you want to get Superman back? You want to do all this stuff? Whatever. Just don't lose us money. Do whatever you want to do. Zaslav gave him the green light. Said, man, go ahead and do your thing. But then you got James Gunn and Peter Safran coming in, little like another regime of leadership. And they was like, yeah, about that. We're going to kill that boss. That's not going to happen. We're going to do something else. So he's right. The Rock is right. New leadership, new direction, new decisions. It's totally fine. Like I said, Wild Wild West. He got caught up at the wrong time. But he goes on here to say, here, he still doesn't completely understand why the character Black Adam got dropped, given what he views as the film's multiple success points. He goes on to say that will always be one of the biggest mysteries. You have the biggest opening of your career. Sure, no China, which could have been maybe 100 or 200 million more dollars. You have a superhero and you want to grow out the franchise. You bring back Superman and Henry Cavill, which the world went crazy. And we created a diverse superhero portfolio where we have just men and women of color and Black Adam. Who he still don't get it. Like, who's gonna tell him? Who gonna tell The Rock? Like, so he said here, let's kind of go through point by point with what he clearly doesn't understand. And this is what kind of worries me, because y'all remember when there was all that debate and talk about how whether or not Black Adam was going to turn a profit or not. And he was like, oh, but it made all this money on iTunes and, it made a profit. And then like other analysts was like, no, it didn't. Y'all know he was doing funny money with cooking the books, right? Like, so first of all, the fact that my man is over here talking about like, well, if we had China, we would have had 100 or 200 million, but you didn't. So, oh well, you didn't have China. So sorry. And how many Chinese movies or how many American movies with people of color have done well over there outside of Black Panther? You sure? You sure you was gonna get 100 to 200 million? You sure? So there's that. He said you have a superhero and you want to grow out a franchise. So what? What does that mean? You missed the fundamental problem with why Black Adam. Everybody's been saying it. Like, this is the problem that I'm like, I'm concerned about The Rock. I'm like, is your circle so tight that you're not hearing people from outside? Like, Why is it that you're not getting this information? The biggest problem why Black Adam did not work is because you tried to make Black Adam skip his actual character development. He's supposed to be a villain for Shazam. That's the thing. That's the playbook. You decided to call an audible play and say, I'm going to be the main event. I'm going for the main prize. I want to just go fight Superman. I don't even want, bro, your character was a C-list character. Shazam is a B-list character. Shazam is not an A-list or top of the line household character. Shazam, some people might say Shazam's a C-list character, actually, to be honest with you. And if he's a C-list, Shazam or Black Adam is definitely a D-list. Whatever it is, you at the bottom of the ranks, bro. Nobody's checking for you like that. Just because you The Rock don't mean that everybody gonna come for comic book stuff. This is why I keep talking about big names do not make movies anymore. Nobody really cares about big name celebrities playing XYZ. They want to know, is the character good and is the story good? You have to have both working. If you don't have a good story and a good character, nobody cares who is playing that role. It won't matter. It won't matter. So in his mind, he said, you have a superhero and you want to grow out the franchise. So you thought that just because you was wearing a cape, just because you was a superhero, just because it had franchise potential, that was going to generate success? You forgot to tell a good story. You forgot that. What else he say? You bring back Superman and Henry Cavill and the world went crazy. Did it? Did the world go crazy? You ain't hit $400 million. Is that what? If you told me that Black Adam made $1 billion because Henry Cavill got the world going and it broke records, okay, fine. That's crazy. What's crazy? What's crazy about a movie flopping? Like, what? This is making me question the perception. Like, sir, I trust me, I love The Rock. I respect The Rock for real, but I have to question, what are you talking about? Who went crazy? The people at the premiere? The couple of people on Twitter? Twitter is not a real place. Have y'all seen how Twitter is run? Twitter don't even know what name it has anymore. Twitter is not X or Twitter X or whatever. Twitter's not real. I don't even know if half the people on Twitter are real. So what are you talking about? The world went crazy. They didn't go crazy with their wallets. That's what you needed. And then he says here, we created a diverse superhero portfolio where we have all these people of women and men of color. And what this tells me is that, once again, The Rock and his production company came in with a checklist. They said, okay, Black Adam, how we gonna make this work? What we gonna do? Superman, check, got it. All right, what else? Cape, superpowers, check, got it. Okay, so we got the cape, we got Superman in here. What else we got? Yo, we need men and women of color, check. Diversity, for the win. Okay. So, we got me, The Rock, check. Celebrity, big name. We got capes and superpowers. We got diversity. Oh, man. And we got Superman. This finna make $1 billion. We gonna kill him with this one. Not one point in that whole checklist did y'all have, is the story good? Story? No? Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. All right. The character, are we sure the character's okay? Are we sure? Oh, we not okay. We're not gonna worry about the character. Okay, cool. All right. But hey, we got diversity, right? We got Superman coming back. You went off a checklist instead of the basics. You forgot the basic thing that makes any movie that has been at the top of the charts, that has been the highest rank. You forgot the basics, which is the story and the character first. I've told y'all my basic outline, how Black Adam could have been amazing. You could have had Shazam, and Shazam would have been straight, tease Black Adam at the end, have Black Adam wax the entire family. I mean, mollywop them, whoop they tail, whoop them tricks, whoop them tricks. Black Adam should have came in and been a whole menace on everybody, and that should have flipped the game. Then you can sit here while everybody is shocked, while everybody's like, oh my God, The Rock came in, just like The Rock did his little guest star in Fast and the Furious, and how he had that gradual introduction. You could have had this man come back in after he mollywopped the whole Shazam family. Now we could have Black Adam as, you know, a background story so we can know who he is and stuff like that. And then at the end, rather than trying to set up this nonsense of Black Adam versus Superman, you go ahead and you bring the Shazam family back in, or you have Shazam go talk to Superman, his best friend, remember, and be like, hey man, I need your help. This dude is waxing me. Then the third movie, Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman. And guess what? DC, y'all literally can have like an open note test, because y'all did this perfectly in the animated movie. Just cheat. Copy your own homework. Copy it. It'll be fine. You could take literally word for word everything that happened in Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam and just make it live action. That would have gotten y'all 6, 7, maybe even $800 million. That build up. That's 3 movies. And then while you're doing all that, do your other franchise. But you decided to skip the line. You decided to go off these little random check marks, and it's still a mystery. The fact that it's still mysterious to you, the fact that you don't get, if you can't learn from your failures, how am I supposed to trust you in the future? I've told y'all this before. Whenever I hear that $7 production gets involved with certain things, I'll be like, I don't know. Because it talks about the decision making and how they view making their films and properties. And everything that I kind of suspected, he's basically confirming for me here in this interview. So again, while I love The Rock, I respect the crap out of this guy and everything he's accomplished. I'm a huge fan of him from a business professional perspective. My man and his whole outlook here on how he's going about these movies and what he's doing, it's a little shaky. So anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think about The Rock's comments on the mystery of Black Adam's failure? What do you think about his approach, about his mindset about this? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.